So a few weeks ago, a company by the name of Mobil Claw came in contact with me and they were wondering if I wanted to try out some of their new products. Now, specifically the ones that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Pro Trigger. Now, Mobil Claw is a company that sells controller attachments that you can use on your mobile phone. You can check out their website, and if you use my link down below, you can actually get a 10% discount whenever you buy anything. So check out the link down below, use code OGXRAYZ, it'll get you a discount. But they specifically have multiple different types of controller adapters for your phone. So they have some that are just grips, they have some that are just the triggers like I'm about to show you. They have one that work for bigger touchscreen devices like tablets or iPads. So go ahead and check them out. I'll link them down in the description below. Now, after spending some time with the Pro Triggers, I got to test it out in Call of Duty Mobile for quite a bit here. I have some pros and some cons specifically about these guys. Now, I have not tried all of their other units and different styles. Again, they have a whole bunch of them and they all are actually very affordable. So if you've wanted to try some controller attachments for your phone, maybe you're just not the best with touch controls, or maybe you just want a competitive advantage that is actually legal to use in Call of Duty Mobile, then this might be a great way to do it. They work both on Android and on iOS. Players can customize their controls or HUD and map the triggers however they want. So you guys will see some footage of me actually doing that. So PUBG and Call of Duty Mobile are a couple of games that I know that you can do this in, where you can move around the control and the HUD to work with whatever way you want. And specifically, you can use these for the controller adapters, and I use it specifically for my Pro Triggers. Because you are able to use triggers for actions like aiming down sight, shooting, jumping, crouching, it really is kind of like having a really affordable SCUF controller but on mobile. You can jump and slide while aiming and shooting. And again, it's perfect because this isn't something that is currently banned or bannable by Call of Duty Mobile. So if you're using Bluetooth controllers that allow you to use external devices like Bluetooth controllers that aren't touchscreen, then you can and probably will be banned for using those. These still use your touch controls. There's no Bluetooth device activity going on, so you won't get banned for it. It's undetectable because you are still using the screen, and it won't put you in PC emulator lobbies as well, but give you controller advantage, which is the best part of it. It's also recommended by pro mobile players, and you can use it not just on COD Mobile, but PUBG and other games where you're able to remap the HUD to your liking. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the pros for this device. Since it's not a single combined unit, you can actually decide how far apart you want the triggers, or maybe even decide that you just want to use one set of the triggers. Unlike some of the other versions of the Mobil Claws that you can use, they're independent, you can place them however you want. If you just want to use one, you can. The other really cool thing is that the triggers are actually very responsive and they work when you're using them to perform actions. You're not going to find yourself playing and hitting one of the triggers and finding out you're not shooting at all, or find yourself in a situation where you need to jump or slide or do something and there's no response. It is really snappy and it works just as intended, so I'm really happy with that. The other thing is that it actually has a really nice build. It has good weight, so they feel good and they don't feel cheap at all. And like I mentioned already, one of the other benefits, you won't get banned for using these triggers because you're not using a Bluetooth enabled device. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the cons of this particular unit, the Pro Trigger. Personally, I recommend any of the other ones they have on there that are a little bit easier to grip on and use. So if you want to check out their other ones, they're all around the same price, so check them out. But if you're someone who wants portability over anything else, then the triggers might be something you enjoy. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the cons. So one of the things that personally I found a little bit annoying, it's not a deal breaker or anything, but having to remove my phone case every time I want to play with it was a bit annoying. The case that I use personally is a very difficult one to take off and put on, so I found it very annoying that I wasn't able to just directly put the triggers on top of my case. So again, if you're someone who doesn't use a case, this probably won't bother you. And if you're someone who really cares about having your case on and you don't really like removing them, some of the other versions or units are perfect even with a case on. Alright, so the final kind of little bit of a con that I thought was that the design of this actually makes it kind of hard to hit some of the buttons that are covering up the screen, which isn't too big of an inconvenience. Honestly, you could remove the triggers and put them back on, you know, between lobbies or whatever, but you know, as you're trying to go around to the different screens, kind of difficult when you got the triggers set up top. So it can be a little bit inconvenient, but at the same time, you know, it's something that is to be expected because you are using something physical to push the screen. And overall, I feel like I actually do get a pretty good competitive advantage from using the Pro Trigger. I think that it's awesome that you're able to have them separate. They're very very easy to pack up and take with you when you're traveling. They're responsive, they have good weight, and more than anything, it's a great way for you to kind of not be so focused on having to reload all the time or jump all the time while moving your fingers from the screen, you know? Now you can just focus on running and aiming and then leave the rest for the triggers. It's a really cool way to get a competitive advantage. It works, and I gotta say, I was actually kind of surprised with the triggers. I actually kind of enjoyed them. Again, personally, I would probably want to get some of the other versions of it that actually come with a device that you put it into, or a cradle. I don't know what to really call them, but I would go for one of those. But if you're someone who values mobility above anything, the Pro triggers are probably going to treat you perfectly fine. So again, huge thank you to Mobil Claw for providing me with these review units. If you guys want to check them out, I'll have a link down in the description below, and if you use code OGXRAYZ, you'll get 10% off the order, which is awesome because these are actually very affordable. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you guys did, it's super appreciated. And if you are new and if you want to see more videos like these, obviously make sure you guys are subscribed and have those notifications on. If you guys want to talk about anything, Twitter is literally the best place to do so. Go ahead and give me a follow over there. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.